Hi there, you're here with Lawrence again. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be speaking about personalities. I've been very grateful and blessed to be able to go on a course to understand one of the most complex personality models that we currently have today, which is known as the Enneagram model. Now, the Enneagram is broken into 9 different types of people. So you've got 1 to 9 different personalities. Now, we as humans have all 9 personalities in us. We're very complex. We're not just one number or one personality type. We've got mixtures. But we do have a tendency to come across in a more maybe perfectionistic way as opposed to a helping way. So although we've got all the numbers within us, we have a tendency to be more of one certain number than maybe the other. And it's really important for us to understand ourselves and to know what our personality is, what the strengths and what the weaknesses are of that personality, so that you can manage yourself a little bit more. For example, if you know that you're a perfectionist, that it's important to remind yourself that perfectionism is an idealistic state that's impossible to achieve, and that good enough needs to be the thought process going forward. So it's important to know what you're good at, so that you can align yourself more in that space, but it's also really important to find out what your weaknesses are so that you can better manage that and better understand why you perhaps don't work as effectively as some other people in some situations. So the Enneagram model, it's got 9 personalities, and what I'm going to do now is take you through each of the personalities in more detail. So the first profile is the 1, and they are known as the perfectionists. These are people that are really driven by quality. Incredible people. I really enjoy them because these are the kind of guys that are great at quality assurance. They'll read through a document and find any and every spelling mistake. If there's a mistake, they're going to find it. And what they're doing at their best is they're really good at helping people get better quality stuff done. On the flip side is they can be hypercritical. They can be critical of themselves, critical of other people. And depending on their maturity state, but they tend to be very hard on themselves, sometimes overly hard on themselves. And what's important to remember with a perfectionist is not to criticize them too much, because they're doing that enough for themselves. The 2 is known as the helper. At their best, the helper is like a Mother Teresa, someone who's unconditionally loving other people, an altruistic being that just wants to be there of service to other people. The flip side of the 2 is that they are so focused on helping other people and giving to other people that they forget about themselves, and they don't necessarily acknowledge their own needs. And what happens is they keep giving, and they build up resentment because they're not sharing their needs. It feels like people are walking all over them. They build until eventually they lash out in a very aggressive way. So the 2's in a healthy state, very helpful, service orientated. Unhealthy, they tend to bottle up things and get quite resentful of other people. The 3, known as the competitive achiever. These are the guys that really make an impact in this world. They are the people that see where their life is currently and where their life needs to be or wants to be. So they currently have 10,000 Rand per month and they have 4 cars. They want to have 20,000 Rand per month, 8 cars. They find that gap and they bridge it. Someone in this space would be like a Tiger Woods, just keeps pushing the boundary, wants to be the best, wants to achieve the gold medals, wants to achieve the fame, the fortune, the accolades. It's someone who's incredibly driven and very good at delivery. On the flip side is there's a lack of satisfaction in this person's life. Because they're constantly driving to this next goal, they never feel like they've arrived. And they never feel that sense of fulfillment that they hope they will feel when they reach that certain goal. So as a 3, it's very important to remind yourself that you are doing really well, is to look back and say, wow, I've come from there, I've already climbed the mountain, I'm doing pretty damn well. The 4's. The 4's are known as the romantic individualists. They are your artists, your poets, your writers, your passionate lovers. These are the people who really drive for a meaning in this world, that As long as there's meaning, they're satisfied. And what they're so good at is creative problem solving. If you have someone in your team that is a 4, it's an incredible asset to have because they can think differently. They'll challenge you. They'll always be authentic. They'll always come to the forefront with their feelings, with their emotions. They're extremely self-aware and intuitive. On the flip side is they can at times become very focused on themselves and tend to forget about people around them. And it's not necessarily a bad thing unless they start to bring themselves down and start to focus on what they do wrong or how they're less than other people, which tends to be, in some cases, what a 4 could do is go down within themselves and say, I'm not good enough or I don't have enough. And they can become quite sad in that way. The 5, the investigator. And this is also the person who's a subject matter expert. They want to become the best and most knowledgeable in their field of expertise. So if it's IT, like a Steve Jobs, they want to know everything and anything around IT and become the absolute expert. And they are great at knowledge, they're great at facts, they are great at reciting knowledge. On the flip side, they have a slight fear of inadequacy. And that's why they focus so much of their attention on becoming the best in knowledge, is because they feel inadequate in social situations. But if they know everything about a certain topic, no one can make them feel inadequate. So they tend to be a little bit more introverted, a little bit more taken back from people, but yet very clever people, which is an interesting combination. The 6, they're known as loyal skeptics. These are people that are highly focused on trust. Also, most cases, someone who's trusted someone and that trust has been broken, and that has now left them to struggle with trust to some extent and not feel like they can trust other people, so become skeptical of people, and they're able to see the gap in any situation. On the flip side, they have a fear of people. They have a fear of losing trust with people. They are very people focused. They want to have people around them. They want to make sure that things are okay with us, that we're friends. So with these kind of people, you have to reassure them often that things are okay. The 7 is known as the enthusiast. Someone who's big picture, who dreams of changing the world, making it a better place. They don't think small fry, they think big, big, big. They're enthusiastic, they're positive, they're optimistic, but then on the flip side, they're also distracted. These are the kind of guys that want to get involved in 15 different projects at once. They want to play soccer, hockey, golf, cricket, squash, badminton, and bowls, all on the same day. So they tend to lose focus and get very distracted. The 8 is known as the active controller or the leader. And this is someone who is highly driven on control and wanting to manage people to the T. So this is the kind of micromanager, someone who says, Lawrence, you need to do this at this time because of this, and this is how you do it, this is when you do it, this is where you do it, this is why you do it, and you'll come and watch and make sure that you're doing it. But what they do really well, I mean, that's where they tend to maybe be a little bit inadequate. They are really good at getting stuff done. They're incredible leaders and they're incredible delivery machines. And lastly, the 9 is known as the peacemaker. And these are guys that are so good at mediating, bringing people together, ensuring that there's peace and a harmonious environment. And on the flip side, they avoid conflict like the plague. So in summary, there are 9 different profiles. Each has beautiful strengths, beautiful weaknesses. It's not about saying you want to become a 1 because a 1 sounds better. They're all equally good. It's just important to know what's your number and what does that mean? How could you be the most effective version of yourself possible? I hope you found value in this session. I will be doing more detailed snippets of each number going forward. So look out for it and continue changing the game. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found some value in what I said. If you want to further your self-awareness and self-development and go on this journey with me, there are 4 things you can do. The first one is subscribe to my channel. The second one is go check out my Facebook or Twitter accounts. I do daily posts, maybe that could inspire you. You can go and check out my book on Amazon. Changing the Game, 10 Perspectives to Taking Charge of Your Life. And lastly, go check out my website, www.lawrencebull.com, to go and see my newsletter, other posts, and other things that might be of interest. Hope to see you soon. Bye.